And we're getting some breaking news. This is related to the announcement that was made by US President Donald Trump of slashing the tariffs on India. And the tariffs now stand at 18% from 50%. And now we're learning that External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is on diplomatic overdrive in Washington, D.C. in back-to-back high-level meetings. He met US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The meets are aimed at fast-tracking the operational details of the newly announced India-US Trade Pact. Jaishankar said that talks spanned trade, energy, nuclear cooperation, defense, critical minerals, and technology, signaling a full push to convert the breakthrough deal into reality on the ground. And New Delhi and Washington are moving swiftly from deal to delivery on ground. So that's the latest update. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is on US visit after the announcement which was made by US President Donald Trump regarding the tariffs, and now the final details are being discussed. My colleague Rohit Sharma is now joining us from Washington, D.C. with more details. Rohit, give us more details on the meetings of S. Jaishankar so far and what were the outcomes?
Minister Jaishankar was in Washington, D.C. today. He was scheduled to meet with Secretary Rubio today and also Undersecretary Alison Hooker. But then, it was kind of a surprise when he first posted a picture that he also met with the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent. And we did not get a readout of that meeting, but he was all smiles today. You could see that there's a big relief, on both sides. And those pictures that we're showing on air, there's a broad grin and a big smile on his face. And when they walked in at the State Department, where we represent, both the leaders, Secretary Marco Rubio and Minister Jaishankar, refused to take questions and ignored questions from reporters. We tried asking them about the trade deal, but then we did get a release from the U.S. State Department where they acknowledged they welcomed the trade deal between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi. And again, the same kind of things that we used to see before about acknowledging and emphasizing the importance of both the democracies working together. And then tomorrow, we will obviously have the critical minerals meeting with other ministers at the State Department. But if you look at the body language, you can sense that things have changed in the past 48 hours or so. We were anticipating this could happen. I mean, in fact, I just put it on the record. I think India Today was the first, channel to break it on that day that a trade deal was happening. So essentially, I think all good signs he will be participating. Jaishankar would be participating in the meeting with the ministerial of tomorrow, other ministers tomorrow for the critical minerals. And at the same time, another big thing that was included in the press release from State Department was the return of Quad Summit and the Indo-Pacific region. So a lot going on here in Washington, D.C., Anjali.
Right, Rohit. And what about the conditions that were mentioned by Donald Trump on which we still don't have any clarity? Is that also on the table to be discussed in these meetings?
I'm pretty sure some of those things were discussed. Again, as I said, we did not get any release from Treasury Secretary Bessent's office. There is some understanding that details will be revealed shortly. We've seen, the American side, especially we saw Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt talk about the zero purchase from Russia. We also saw other leaders. We saw Ambassador Greer talk about it as well. So we'll have to wait and watch, Anjali, how this pans out. We've reached out to a lot of people. We've been asked to wait out once we see the final text. I think that would clarify a lot of these things. But yes, I think those, whatever was written on the tweet by the President of the United States has been repeated by multiple officials in the U.S. administration.
All right, Rohit, do stay with us. So, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is in Washington, D.C. He met U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and also Secretary of State Marco Rubio. It remains to be seen. We still are waiting for more clarity on what exactly was discussed and what was the outcome of these meetings. But this comes in the backdrop of the trade pact, India-US trade pact, and also the slashing of tariffs by United States from 50% to 18%.